Hey everyone, my name is Luke Medrano and I'm on staff here with our junior high ministry. Before we get into the Daily Diva, I want to give a quick shout out to my brother Nate. Nate is an avid viewer of the Daily Hopes, and today happens to be Nate's 27th birthday. So Nate, happy birthday bro, I love you a whole bunch. I hope today is excellent and you have fun celebrating. Thanks for letting me do that. I just want to do that really quick for him. But before we get into the devotion, here's a quick question for you. Are you somebody that can admit defeat? Are you someone that can admit defeat? Think about that for a sec. Because if I were to examine my life, I realize that I am not somebody that admits defeat very well. See, I was raised in a family of competitors. The Medrano family loves to play games, and we love sports, and we love to compete. So if there's a call to be challenged, we will do it, and we'll keep playing until the last whistle is blown, until the last card is placed on the table, because we hate losing more than anything. We want to win, and even us as people, we just don't like to lose things. We don't like to have to give up something, whether it's control, whether it's an argument, or whether it's a game. We don't like to admit defeat. And so if you've been tracking with us in our Daily Divas the past couple of days, we've been going through the book of Job. And today we're covering Job chapter 6. And so a little recap of what we've been talking about so far is the whole book of Job is about a guy named Job who was really wealthy. And he had livestock, he had a beautiful family, he had land, he had money, he had it all. And then it was all gone in an instant. And so after he lost everything, he goes and seeks the counsel of three of his friends. And so we catch up with him in chapter 6, having this conversation with his friend Eliphaz. And Eliphaz has just gotten done giving Job his 2 cents and kind of sharing with him what he thinks and feels about the situation and what he thinks Job should do. And so at the start of chapter 6, we see Job really lamenting about the misery and dread that he's feeling. He describes it as being almost immeasurable. It's so much he can't even handle that he wants it all to just to go away. And so I'm going to have us hop into our Bibles here, and we're going to catch up with Job here in verse 10. So Job chapter 6, verse 10, and I'm going to read that to you guys right here. So this is what it says. At least I can take comfort in this. Despite the pain, I have not denied the words of the Holy One. But I don't have the strength to endure. I have nothing to live for. Do I have the strength of a stone? Is my body made of bronze? No, I am utterly helpless with any chance of success. And, even in that passage, you can hear the words and hear how much pain that Job is feeling. But there's a beautiful part. There's a silver lining in verse 10 where he's saying, no matter what I've been through, at least I can find comfort in one thing. And that is that I didn't turn my back on God. That is the one thing that I have. And so even everything that Job has been through, all the loss, all the pain, he still decided not to turn his back on God. And he hadn't counted God out yet. But Job is at his wit's end. He doesn't want to do this anymore. He's feeling the weight and the pressure is coming down on him. But as you and I both know, Job's story is not finished. We're only in chapter 6. There's a whole book we got to get through. So his story isn't over, and hope isn't completely lost. But here in this passage, Job is admitting defeat. He is feeling utterly helpless. And so if I were to look and examine in my life, when I've experienced tragedy, when I've experienced loss and pain, things do feel utterly helpless. And I think a lot of that is because I'm choosing to take on all this weight by myself. It's all on Luke. It's no one else. Just me. But friends, if we were to examine our lives as a whole, or even these seasons of tragedy and tough times, we are utterly helpless. And we are utterly hopeless without God's intervention, without God being brought into these things. I'm going to say that one more time. We are utterly helpless without God. And it can feel that way. It can feel that way when we experience loss and tragedy. And sometimes we encounter moments in our lives like Job when we feel like there's nowhere else to turn. But these are the moments that we have to stop and recognize that we've lost. We have to admit defeat. The moments where I'm trying to do everything in my power to make sure I feel better. I try to fix the situation. But at some point in time, just like Job, we have to just wave the white flag and be like, I've done all I can. I've said all I can. I've talked to everybody I can. Nothing seems to be helping me. Because sometimes we turn to every other juncture except looking up, except giving it over to God. Because like I said, we are utterly hopeless without God. And so I think one step of that is admitting our defeat, admitting when we need something stronger than me, when I need something stronger than what's around me. I need God. I need God to be a part of this. And I think loss and despair opens up a space for God to fill. When we are forced into tough situations, our allegiance is tested. Am I the type of person to give over my problems to the things around me or the people around me? Or am I going to be the one to see the writing on the wall and see that I'm losing? That I'm losing this thing and I need to admit defeat. I need God to be a part of this. And I need to move into a space of greater reliance on Him. Relying that He's bigger than everything that I'm going through or the things that I'm feeling. Because then at the end of the day, you can take comfort in knowing that despite the pain, I have not denied the words of the Holy One. And so friends, if you're hearing anything from today's message or today's Devo, I encourage you to move into a space of complete reliance on the Lord. And I think the first step of that is admitting defeat. Admitting that no matter all the things I can do to try to micromanage and control the situation, at the end of the day, I need God because I'm utterly hopeless without Him. It feels pretty good knowing that you don't have to have it all figured out and that there's a God who loves you deeply and immensely. And then don't forget that your story isn't finished either. You still got a ways to go. Whatever season of pain or tragedy you may be experiencing now, or maybe you've experienced in the past, you can look back and say, you know what? I did see God there. But we're utterly hopeless without God. So friends, invite Him into the pain. Invite Him to fill those voids that we may be feeling in our lives and move into a space of complete reliance on God. Thanks for listening.